I hope you're doing well. So this expose by Project Veritas is probably, no, it's definitely, it's the most shocking one that I've seen yet. This is a screenshot from it. I'm not going to play that video. I'll play you a little bit of another one. But if you want to see it, I'll link to the full thing below. It is incredible. So this teacher right here, another California teacher, and I believe he teaches, oh, he's a government teacher. Ha 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 ha. I'm sorry. So another high school teacher, and he's basically admitting in this video that he is a member of Antifa. He has the Antifa flag in his classroom. This is a picture of his classroom. He also has a picture of Mao, you know, the communist dictator, the guy who killed 45 million people. This is, hold on, let me just read this to you. From 1958 to 1962, his Great Leap Forward policy led to the deaths of up to 45 million people, easily making it the biggest episode of mass murder ever recorded, and that's who he has in his classroom. So he admits to being a communist, he admits to being a member of Antifa, and he admits to indoctrinating his students. His exact words were, "I have an Antifa flag in my classroom, 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries. There's a reason why these kids are becoming further left." He also admits to giving his kids extra credit if they go to protest or create opposition to right-leaning protests. He will give them extra credit. Why did I say that twice? I don't know. But that's what he said in the video. Antifa, they do something quite clever. Their name is Antifa, anti-fascist. So you think about an anti-fascist group going out and protesting and stuff, and you're like, well, that's not bad. They're fascism is bad. That's what they are. No, that's what they cloak themselves to be. They are not anti-fascist. They are a violent, extremist a group that has attacked women, children, elderly, trans, anyone or anything who they don't like. He even admits in the video that one of his kids came up to him, or I think it was during a, you know, those anonymous surveys. A lot of teachers will give them to you when you're in school or if you're in college to ask about the class. And he even said that one of his students wrote in that survey that that Antifa flag made them really uncomfortable. And what did he say? He said, well, I hope it does make fascists uncomfortable. But given that, let me show you this little clip. So this was actually someone that worked for Project Veritas, and they approached him and asked him what they thought about this expose. And listen to what he said.
Gabriel, hello, how are you?
I'm good.
I am a journalist with Project Veritas.
Okay.
Nice to talk with you.
Am I getting...
Don't mind my colleague recording. We are recording, but I think you're going to be more interested in what I have to say here.
I don't feel comfortable with this.
Well, I think that there's been a lot of uncomfortability in your classroom. I'd like to talk with you about some of the statements you've made. I believe you said it.
You know what Project Veritas is.
Well, we're journalists.
Okay.
And you mentioned to one of our colleagues that you have 180 days to turn students into revolutionaries. Would you like to expound upon that?
We do not consent to this filming. We do not consent to these questions.
Well, you're in a public place, and I don't think parents consent to their students being, quote, turned into revolutionaries.
Oh, you're uncomfortable now. Now you're uncomfortable. What kind of person thinks it brags about making their students uncomfortable? These teachers, like this has nothing to do with helping shape the minds of young kids. This has nothing to do with the mission statement of the school. This has nothing to do with what's in the best interest of the kids. This is completely and totally and utterly self-serving. I feel like a broken record. I've said this I don't know how many times, but I remember when I was in school on election day, our teachers would come in and they would have their little I voted sticker, and they would never talk about who they voted for. I even had a political science class, and they would teach us, you know, the textbook definition of a Democrat and a Republican and a Libertarian and everything. But no teacher would ever push, ever, it was so inappropriate to push their personal political beliefs on us. Their job was to give us the objective information and then let us grow up into the type of adults that we feel is best for us. Also, somebody pointed out that in that video, that teacher had an iPhone in his hand, which they typically go about $1,000. So isn't that capitalist contraband? Isn't he anti-capitalism? And he has that contraband in his hand. What's going on there? It's almost like I remember seeing some of the Antifa protests where they would just go and disrupt innocent people that are trying to have dinner, and they would. There was one in particular where they were marching down the downtown area of San Diego and just like yelling at innocent people who are just trying to have dinner with their families or friends, and they would be like, "You're on stolen land," and I just really wanted someone to yell back at them, "So are you." It's the same thing as the Antifa in Portland who wanted to abolish the police. And then so the police did what they wanted and retreated and didn't come to their protests. And then they got upset when regular citizens got up and stood up for themselves. And then they all of a sudden wanted police again. Updates to this story as of now. The school has released a statement saying that they're aware that there are a lot of concerned parents. They're aware of the Project Veritas expose and they're looking into it, but that's all I know so far. I was hoping there was more updates, but Project Veritas and James O'Keefe, they are on top of this, and they have released the email addresses of the principal at the school and others. And keep in mind, this isn't doxing or cancel culture or anything like that. These are public employees at a public high school allowing a teacher to indoctrinate students in a violent extremist ideology. So this is a big deal. Also in California, K through 12 public schools, only half of the students are at grade level reading. So I think maybe we should stop focusing on politically indoctrinating kids and maybe teaching them, reading, writing, arithmetic, just an idea, I don't know. But even Andy No chimed in on this, and he had these. So he says, some of the Antifa accounts are furious at this teacher, Gabriel Gipe. Gipe is his name? That's the Tifa teacher. Accidentally exposed what they're up to. They also say he was too overt in introducing students to far-left extremism. He should have been more subtle to avoid detection in the classroom, they say. So let's see what they say. If you're saying he did an interview, he did not. This was not an interview. Understood. I don't know everything that went into that meeting, but there should have been more careful with some of that info. It's the stuff at school that's really mind-boggling. There's no way to present revolutionary thought to students, there is a way. I'm sorry. There is a way to present revolutionary thought to students, but that's absolutely not it. You have to be more secret and subtle, and that's what's creepy about this. It's insidious. It's little bits of information that get to these kids, and it's predatory. There was a term that Chris Rufo came up with to describe these teachers, and he calls them political predators. That's exactly what they are. If you have the best interest of the kids in a K through 12 public school, then you do your job, you stick to the curriculum, and you teach these kids how to be successful members of society, not political activists. And now, this is where it gets very interesting, and I will be paying attention to this tonight. This school district has a school board meeting open to the public tonight. There might be some upset parents there, rightfully so, and this is your constitutional right. Remember, these are public employees. This is a public school that is teaching kids, and parents are entrusting. I used to work for the government too, and my salary was public. What I did was public knowledge, all of that, because I was employed by taxpayers' money, and you have the right to know and have a say in what's happening in these government facilities, and especially with teachers teaching young kids. Okay, now this is totally unrelated, but since we were talking about school board meetings, for funsies, I just thought I would show you this video clip that went viral yesterday. It's about 1 minute and 15 seconds long. It's worth watching the entire thing. This is a school board meeting in Henrico County, Virginia, and somebody Bart Simpsoned the school board. Here it is.
You guys work for us in this environment. You answer to us, and I'm asking that you do not pass this policy in Virginia.
Thank you so much, Ms. Thomas. We do appreciate you. Phil McCracken. Phil McCracken. Suk Mahidik. Suk Mahidik. Ophelia McHawk. Ophelia McHawk. Eileen Dover. Eileen Dover. Don Kiddick. Don Kiddick. Wayne Kerr. Wayne Kerr.
I'm not immature, you're immature. Well, I forgot to read one more piece of this Andino tweet. So this is what another person said. He said, you just gave thousands, maybe millions of alt-right and conservative people more ammunition in their fight against the left. Thanks a effing lot, you reckless MF. No, you did that on your own. If you have a good ideology, then there's no reason to have a big argument against you. So, anywho, that's all I have. I'll see you all later. I'm keeping up with this story because I have a feeling there's going to be more updates, but I'll see you all later. Bye. Hi. So, of course, this happens. I'm getting ready to edit that Project Veritas video, and there was a slight update. So the teacher released his own personal recording saying that these people are going to be coming after him. He's worried for his personal safety, and he said they're trying to go after my job, what I love doing best. And again, this is him not understanding. It's odd to me that he's talking about his personal safety when he's indoctrinating kids to take part in a violent extremist group. And obviously I'm not for, and no one should have their safety in jeopardy. That's one of the reasons I don't support an extremist violent group. He is preying upon young children for his political ideology, for his personal gain. So I don't know how he spun this to make himself the victim, but this is typical behavior. This is what people do. They prey upon weaker individuals, and when they get ousted, they all of a sudden play the victim card. But that's a little update for you.